Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Curly Jamaican here with another video for you. Actually, this is my second time making this same video. The first time I made it was way too long, and secondly, I was kind of having some kind of hair thing going on. It is Curly Jamaican. Call me your Curly Jamaican. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Curly Jamaican. Now that I've made you laugh, let's get to some serious matters. Today I wanted to discuss student loan debt. Why do you ask? Because honestly, I think it's a crisis. Crisis. And I just think this is something that we shouldn't really be nonchalant about anymore. Right now we're treating it like it's just the everyday thing. If you're not rich, if you weren't in the military, if your parents didn't pay for your college tuition, or if you didn't get a scholarship, then you have to take out a student loan, and hey, the consequences, you have to pay it back, right? It's black and white. But is it? Is it black and white? We should take a more critical look at it, because this is something that seems to be following us for a very, very long time, and it's not only affecting our debt ratio, but it's affecting things like how we save for our kids' education. But before I expound on that any further, I wanted to get into some facts. So as we know, about 80% of America today, or Americans today, are in debt. And a portion of that, of course, is attributed to student loans. Right now, Americans owe $1.52 trillion in debt. Trillion. And of that $1.52 trillion, women owe a whopping $900 billion. Yes, $900 billion. What does this mean? This means that women are the main holders of student loan debt. And why is this a problem for women? This is a problem because men tend to get higher paying jobs. For whatever reasons, this is not to point out the inequality in wages. This is not that at all. But because men tend to get higher paying jobs, this means that when women are paying back their student loans, they are left with a smaller percentage of their income than men. Now, if you're married, this is probably not really going to be too much of a problem, because both of you, your income is combined and you can just make it work together. But a lot of the women that are actually in college are single parents, single moms, and they have a family to take care of alone, right? Even if they're married and they're taking care of their family together, it's still a problem, because when you're paying back student loan plus interest, so it's so taxing on your income, it's harder to save for your kids' tuition. And the thing about student loan is it's now becoming a cycle where parents are taking it out and then their kids are taking it out too. And I just feel like for us millennials, this is where the buck should stop. The buck should stop here with the student loans. I don't think we should be passing on this insurmountable debt to our kids. It's not fair to them. And I don't think we should be allowing our kids to acquire that level of debt as well. You know, even if we cannot pass on wealth to our kids, we shouldn't be passing on debt or passing on circumstances where they have to create debt for themselves. And so this is why I think that student loan debt is a crisis. Now, I think especially the African American community, I think we need to pay special attention to student loan debt, because of the fact that census data shows that almost 1 in 4 Black households lives in poverty. So yes, this is a crisis that is affecting America, but this is a crisis that is more so affecting African Americans because of the fact that there is one in every four household that is experiencing poverty. Then we are more than likely to pass on, or to continue that cycle for our children. And if that is the case, this is a serious problem, guys. This is a very serious problem. So I wanted to actually discuss some more stats with you. The average student loan debt per borrower at this time is $32,731. But as you and I know, many borrowers actually owe up to $65,000 in student loan debt. And that doesn't include the interest, okay? And if that's not enough, I have some more numbers for you. 44.7 million people are borrowers of student loan. Student loan debt for borrowers 60 and over has increased by 1,256% from 2004. What? And in addition to that, although there are more student loan borrowers under 30, borrowers between the ages of 30 and 39 have the most student loan debt outstanding, which makes sense. By the time you get out of school, get out of college, you're probably in your late 20s, going into your 30s, and now it's time for you to pay back what you owe, that arm and leg. If you don't think those percentages are scary, I don't really know what to tell you. We just have to become aware. We really have to become more aware as to what we are doing to our financial health or financial stability, and really more importantly to our offsprings when we are just accumulating all of this student loan debt in the name of education. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything to be ashamed of or there's anything wrong with us pursuing an education. Nothing is wrong with that. And it should never be the case that because you are not able to afford an education that you should not get one. But the trade-off to me doesn't seem fair at all. When you get the education, you get the job, but most of your earnings is going back to paying for what you owe. As long as we're working and we're paying back our debt, we are hoping that everything will work out. But will everything really work out? When the purpose of you acquiring an education was to end up getting a job to assist you in accumulating wealth, and instead of accumulating wealth, you are working your butt off to get rid of debt. African American college students borrow more often, owe more money, and default more frequently than any other racial group on their education loans. Racial disparities in student debt are driven by wealth inequality and lackluster funding of institutions that enroll the highest numbers of Black college students, according to research. The poverty rate among African Americans is 22% and is more than double the poverty rate of whites, which is 9%. Now, if I sounded like I was reading, I was. If we were trying to get an education in order to close that gap, and instead it's actually become much wider when you compare the 22% to the 9%. Are we really achieving what we set out to achieve? That is the question. And I know that we celebrate African Americans as one of the most educated groups in the United States today, but I must say that I'm a bit daunted by the numbers. It makes you really wonder if it's not a trap. It makes you really wonder if this is not some scheme to keep people in general financially enslaved. I thought of some solutions. Now, some of my solutions you may like, some of them you may not like, but here goes. So you know how when you're in college, you get that check in the mail, maybe for $1,200, $1,500. Some people probably get $2,000 if they're lucky. A lot of the times that check does come in handy. And we are so grateful for that check because we really rely on that check to help us pay bills, to use a portion of that check, or even if you can, use all of that check to start paying on your student loans while you are in school. That way you can actually cover some of the interest, before it's even time to start paying the interest and the principal. And I know a lot of people are not going to really like that idea. What? Because of the fact that there are a lot of the times when you are in college, you're kind of struggling through college and you're a single parent, you have to take care of your family while you're trying to earn your degree, then it's almost kind of impossible to send that check back or to resist spending that check. I know, I completely understand. But because of this crisis, we really need to start thinking of making sacrifices so that we're not passing on our problems to the next generation and hoping that they're going to be okay. We need to kind of take matters in our own hands right now. So another thing that I was thinking about is, do you know that if you save $100 starting from the birthday of your child until that child actually grows into an adult and is ready to move out, maybe at the age of 22, 24, you saved $100 per month up until that time that that child is ready to go to college, you actually might save up about 18 to $24,000. And that money can really go a long way when you're talking about paying expensive tuition. So that is another solution. Saving $100 per month can be challenging, and you probably more than likely will be tempted to dip into it, things like that. But it is worth the effort. Also, another thing that I was thinking of is something that might involve getting the legislators to take part in implementing a certain program that might be beneficial to all Americans. Hear me out on this one. I was thinking that we can give taxpayers the option to pay a certain amount out of their salary or wages. And when I say a certain amount, I mean as small as $2, a dollar, to go towards a program that will in the future assist people or kids from low income families and help them to keep their debt down by paying a portion, if not all, of their college tuition. Am I being utopic? Maybe. Am I in dreamland? Maybe, but I think it's possible. I think it's something that should be an option. You should be able to say, hey, okay, I think I want to pay a certain portion of my salary towards this program. You select the program and you say how much you want to donate towards the program, and it's just taken out of your salary every 2 weeks, every month, however you choose to have it taken out. But you know that it will be going towards building funds to assist future college students who are going to need it. It's not going to be a reward system like a scholarship if you have a high GPA. It is more of a program to keep our debt down. And if you are interested in trying to save the future generation from our debt, then this is something that you might want to think about. Now, of course, I don't completely understand how certain things work in terms of implementing certain legislations. Of course, our fear is going to be that you're going to have corrupt politicians mismanaging funds, losing funds, things like that. But if we can just entrust some type of institution to oversee this money, we surely will be able to come up with something that can end this vicious cycle of student loan debt. Nothing was in place for us, but we probably can put something in place for our kids. This is geared more towards African Americans. You can actually get the NAACP involved in actually creating some type of funding program that does the same thing, but on a more privatized level. Now, clearly we have to vet the people that we're giving the money to, and clearly we're sometimes not going to have enough to give to everyone, but this is something that we probably need to start looking into, and all the regulations that come with vetting can follow after. But we certainly can start figuring out a solution like this now. But that's pretty much, some of the solutions that I came up with. Clearly, a student loan debt, $1.52 trillion, is not going to be an easy fix. It's not going to be something that you can sweep under the rug, and it's not going to be something that you can solve in a day. But we can start taking actions to address the issue. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Please also don't forget that my videos are not monetized, and so I'm asking you to support me by purchasing my romance novel. The link will also be in the description box. You can get it from Amazon or you can get it from Google Play, depending on if you want the digital copy or the paperback copy. But thank you guys so much, and to all my new subscribers, thank you. I really appreciate the support, and to all my old subscribers as well, thank you guys for sticking with me. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Yeah.